I'm the scat man. Yo, do, do, do. Skimmy, dimmy, ding, yo, do, do, do. Yo, do, do, ba, 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 bee, ba, 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 do. Ba, 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 do. Wee, ba, 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 do. Happy Monster Day. It is Friday the 13th. Welcome to Puck Props presented by Bet99 on coverage. Josh Inglis, Carlo Colaiacovo. It seems like I've been losing money on the Olympics for like 8 straight days. It's the longest. Yesterday's beat on the USA team total over 1.5 in the first period was probably the worst ride I've had in terms of a beat. The double review, the post, awful. Yeah. Germany holds on 3-1, scores 4 goals in the first 30 minutes, 0 following that. Yes, Andy's in the chat. So we'll get through our stuff. Appreciate everybody there in the chat. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, do all those beautiful things that help us out. Shots on goal, still a great angle. The markets aren't coming out till late. Not everybody has them, but right now, if you are a shot on goal better, they're just handing them out right now. They're like poppies on the 11th. If you haven't bought them, they're just giving them away. That's the best angle right now. So far, Carlo, underdogs 6-2 against the spread. The under 7-1 through 8 games. And I mean, first period overs are still 5-3, but things might seem like they're slowing down. But at the end of the day, I've seen 13 goals in the first, 15 in the second, and then 13 goals in the third. Things are slowing down. Whether or not that's the ice. Have you heard anything about ice conditions or just Nothing. Maybe why? No.
I even not just iced conditions, ice dimensions. Remember all the talk coming into this tournament about the ice dimensions? I haven't heard anybody complain about that. I haven't heard anybody complain about the conditions, considering there's multiple games a day going on those rinks. I don't think there's much focus to it. I think players are just like, there was a quote that I kept referencing this morning, and it's from Nathan MacKinnon, who couldn't sleep in his pregame nap yesterday because of all the nerves and anxiety he was having about playing this game, like the jitters. This is a guy who's won a Stanley Cup and played on Stanley Cup games. And he's talking about the stage at the Olympics being as big as it is, giving him the nerves. That just goes to tell you how big of a stage this is for these players who haven't been a part of this for 12 years. And I think the last thing on their mind is to complain about anything.
Now, I'll get to it with Andy when he gets on here. But MacKinnon, sub 15 minutes in that game. How difficult is it for someone like Nick Suzuki to go from center to go to wing and then have to play and keep up with Nathan MacKinnon?
Yeah, it could be challenging, right? Especially when your whole career, your job is to lead your team playing the most coveted position in the game. But man, in these tournaments like this, players just find a way. Like it's, like you don't sit there and get put on a line with MacKinnon and then pout to your teammates saying, man, I got to play the wing with MacKinnon. Like, I don't know if I can do this, right? There might be a little bit of an adjustment period, but these guys have had a couple of days to practice. I didn't think he looked too out of sorts yesterday. Now, positionally, I think Nick Suzuki is a smart enough player where he'll figure it out. I think it's just the pace that he's expected to play at when playing with MacKinnon. But really, when you think about it, who else would be at that pace? I mean, the only guy I can think of is Connor McDavid and maybe Macklin Celebrini, right? So, unless
clean game, Binnington looks great.
Yeah.
Another shutout. No one scored on Canada in best on best since the quarterfinals in 2014, and that was Latvia. They went shutout versus the USA in the semis. Sweden shutout in the finals, and things keep rolling. Do you think Binnington goes the distance here?
Well, he's not playing today, but I think absolutely he goes the distance. Did you not listen to John Cooper's answer?
Yeah, I knew.
When he decided that Jordan Binnington was going to be his guy, well, he said 358 days ago, and that shouldn't come to a surprise to people. It was never a surprise to me. It was, to me, the attention that this position has received over the last year has just had me shaking my head, because I understand some of the concern people were having because of Binnington's year that he was having in St. Louis. But when you look at this guy and playing on the big stage, he's always proven that he's a big game goaltender. And he did it again yesterday. Now, the thing about Canada's goaltending, we have to remind ourselves, is Canada's never going to have to rely on a goaltending performance to steal them a game. Because if that's the case, then you're more worried about the group in front of them. I think the group in front of Canada, with the 4 lines that they can roll, the defensemen that they can play with in front of the goaltender. And I think, look, I mean, a lot of people criticize their decision-making on the players they chose. Familiarity, continuity. Like, these guys have played together already in a international tournament at the Four Nations. So it kind of feels like there's been a carryover from that.
Was very nice watching because I got up for the 6 o'clock games, watched every game. Whether or not that neutral zone is a little tighter for sure, but watching Canada gain the offensive blue line was the easiest thing I think I've seen in every game. What they did to carry the puck over and establish the O-zone was incredible right now, because it seems like it is short and things are happening quick in the neutral zone for other teams, no?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you got players that are carrying the puck into the offensive zone, it's going to create a little bit of, hesitancy when it comes to the defensemen playing those guys, where they'd rather play safe than too aggressive on players with skill and speed like Canada possesses.
All right, let's go through some picks here. I've been ice cold, but we keep firing. I told producer Chris that I'm going to start off with the Canada picks. I'm actually going to start off with my Czechia France picks, because that game's coming up at 10:30, bud. That's coming up at 10:30. Let's go France team total under 1.5. My price I got when I put this in, locked this in, -140. If that is not around anymore, around -145, -150, and that is not something that you want to play at this price, you want to get that to somewhere a playable price, go take Switzerland team total under 2.5, and that should get you better than plus money. France is in a really tough spot. It is juicy, but they gave up 27 shots versus a soft Swiss team. Now having to face like a Czechia team that, well, we don't have like a good gauge on, because they were playing in their zone for most of the game, but they'll come out and play. You'll see a bounce back effort for them. France played almost the entire game in their own zone. I said 27. They give up 43 shots and 73 shot attempts in their opening game. Vejmelka or Vladar, I'm happy. Doesn't matter. Either one. Dostal was fine. Don't care. That's one of the more loaded actual goal creases. My question to you before we get to the Canada game, thoughts on like a massive change in opponent in terms of the edge, where Czechia goes from Canada to now France? Is that an advantage for Czechia, having to go from that top tier maybe now to the bottom tier?
No, I mean, if we saw the response that Finland just had against Sweden, Czechia has to swallow their pride a little bit after that loss yesterday, and they can't be here staring at the opponent and saying, it's an easy one. They need a result, and they need a big bounce back. And I expect them. I mean, if there's one thing that we've learned about this competition so far, regardless of the score, is that every team is competing pretty hard. I mean, look at the Italy game today.
I know.
Right? So it'd be foolish for the Czechs to take that approach against the French today. Yeah,
3.5 goal favorites. See how that game goes. That goes at 10:40. Someone in the chat, appreciate the help on the mic. And Andre Palat, who was on the second line last game, jumps up to the top line. He's power play 1. There he is, playing with Hurdle and Pasta. He's plus 115 for an assist today.
Palat?
He is plus 650 for 2 assists today.
Wow.
I know. That's
top line.
It's a good look there. Going to the 3:10 game as I try to get plans to watch this. Celebrini, throw it up now, producer Chris. Celebrini anytime goal plus 220. That's boosted at Bet99 right now. Basically the same price, maybe even a little better than it was yesterday, and I think there should be an adjustment for sure. Best market price on this. Incredible line. Him and McDavid were maybe the best thing I've watched in hockey, and they combined for nearly 50% of the team's total quality scoring chances. Incredible play from a teenager, and that's all you heard about. You saw them when they were walking out of the game, everybody tapping them. Like, what we saw from Celebrini was a man who wasn't too afraid of the moment. And then we go Canada, -2.5, minus 125. If this gets too juicy, I think that the team total over 4.5 even money is also the look. I just don't think that Canada should be shorter than they were versus Czechia. Swiss, Czechia, I think are kind of built the same way, high-end scoring, kind of lacking depth down there late. I think Canada can put the exact same 5-0 spot up in this game. What was your biggest takeaway from the Canada game last time? And does it start with McDavid and Celebrini in that Wilson line?
It absolutely does. My biggest takeaway was the tone that was set in that game. And it was set by McDavid. First shift of the game, goes out and absolutely drills the Czech defenseman.
Did you hear the tweet? Someone asked
Marchand?
someone goes on the bench, "Hey Willie, great hit." It's like that wasn't me.
That wasn't me. Right. And so with everything you hear about some of the anxiety before the game from some of the players stepping into this moment, Olympics, whatever it may be, everyone had this nervous feeling come into this game. And when your best player goes out and sets the tone with a physical presence like that, it just sets a huge bar for the players on the bench saying, guys, clearly McDavid came out to play. He's on a rampage. We better pick up our rest of the game. And I don't know if it's playing with a guy like Tom Wilson that's rubbing off on him to play like that.
Yeah.
But then you see the big Celebrini goal and you see the depth scoring that Canada got with 5 different goal scorers. I think the physical presence that Canada set right from the start of the game was the difference maker in the game because they just said, look, we can beat you in a skill game, but we're not going to be pushed around. And what I really was impressed with is that international tournament with international refereeing, it's hard to set a physical presence. And I give credit for the referees for maybe adopting a North American style of reffing for allowing some physicality to take place without penalizing the boys.
Minus that stupid Suzuki penalty.
Yeah,
I was worried. I'm like, this is what it's going to be. This is what we're going to get to. I got one question in mind, but I do want to bring in our first guest. Bring in Andy Francis, my favorite content creator.
Wow, look at this guy.
I mean, hey, sorry, I like to get dressed up for occasions when people invite me somewhere, you know. I got my jersey, got my Croatia jersey on.
Jacket. I'm in a golf shirt. You're in a hockey jersey. Look at you, eh?
It's beautiful, you know, Carlo. You get the tie goes to the guy who had a whole career in the NHL. Okay. Your tough times were put in, so you could just sit there in a basement right now with a detective's light on your face as you just continue to give. As you just give us your picks.
Coming from, I don't get it.
Yeah, tell me where you were last night at 5:30 p.m. Well, eat a sweat. Yeah.
How long have you been chasing Leonardo DiCaprio and catch me if you can?
No kidding.
Now, I was getting some flack yesterday about crapping on Suzuki. It wasn't crapping on Suzuki, Andy. It was just like a guy who didn't look like he belonged on that line with Nathan MacKinnon.
He looked like some guy.
You sent me a message and you're like, they need to change this MacKinnon line because right now, Nathan MacKinnon looks like a jag. He looks like just a guy with the haggle line. Where do you go trying to get Nathan MacKinnon going? Not that you have to get him going, but I know you can spread out the minutes. He played under 15 minutes. How do you kind of flex that without having to touch the top 2 lines?
Every tournament, you learn something when you have an ultra stacked team. Is there a guy who just kind of is like, oh, you know what? If you put a whole team on his shoulders and allow things to revolve around him, that's usually where you see the best out of him. Like in youth hockey, there'd be a kid who was he would be the best player on a team. They'd have, you know, a pretty good record. But then in the all-star game, it'd be like, this guy just doesn't look good. He looks like he looked like a random player just doing just regular things out there. When you put someone like him with all there has to be something discernible that sticks out. And with him, it's like he doesn't really have the size. He doesn't have a ton of speed. Yeah. So when you're seeing him out there with some of those ultra stars that you have on Canada just doesn't fit in. But I mean, you don't have to panic too much about creating things. I mean, they had a goal disallowed. You know, McKinnon's carried many lines. He's carried Drouin to production last year. So it might not be the worst thing to just, allow McKinnon to kind of run that line. It's also weird, like Hagel, even in Tampa, they try not to put, for years, Kucherov hasn't played with Hagel because he's not the best with those highly skilled guys.
He's a Cirelli type. He needs
tough.
to play with Cirelli.
Yeah, I mean, Jarvis to me makes way more sense. A finisher who can get into open
instead
spaces.
Of Reinhardt?
No, instead of Suzuki on the.
Sorry, instead of Suzuki. Yes, sorry. Yeah. I'm thinking Reinhardt because you were mad about Reinhardt yesterday being moved down to the fourth line.
Heartbroken.
Is he going to stick there? Did they list his point prop?
We don't know anything yet. I think the books would be smart to list his point prop in a one-way market to the over because he played 9 minutes last game and price him as a top line guy. So
if I can give one piece of advice to, I don't even know if it's majority Americans or Canadians listening here, with the Olympics, even more so than the NHL regular season playoffs, the disparity in what's available from sportsbook to sportsbook is insane. Like, for example, if I know you have it up there in Toronto, but if you can use Bet Rivers, they have player point unders.
This is a Bet99 podcast, my friend. It's a sponsored show. Technical difficulties.
I'm sorry.
No, but
in the U.S. we don't even have it.
Like just market to market. Like go try to find like both teams to score. Like just the regular markets you see day to day don't even exist.
God,
like first period team totals are in one place. It's a really difficult spot to find. I agree with you.
I'd like to apologize.
All right, let's change topics. Don't worry. Let me ask you my question. You were obviously looking at a lot of pre-tournament bets, and after the first 2 or 3 days just a few. After the first 2 or 3 days right now, like what are you looking at right now as a favorable spot?
In terms of like the futures?
Yeah.
Where do you sit well? How well are you?
Yeah, how are your bets looking, and which ones would you look to right now?
Well, fortunately, they update top point scorer after the game, so it's not like something that you had to bet on pre-tournament. I thought that Sweden in a game against Italy would give you. I thought that they'd be able to score 8 goals, and I just thought one massive game. I texted Josh this would provide you the ability to win top point scorer in the tournament if some person had a 5-point game there. But interestingly enough, even I thought once McDavid had 3 points against a pretty good team, that maybe like that would kind of just seal the deal. But I mean, you see Jack Hughes had 3 points and Dahlin, I think, is up to 4 points. So in theory, the top point scorer is still open to a team who can make it to the medal rounds. So, I mean, I don't know if there's anyone in particular that stands out to you guys. To me, I've taken McDavid for everything since the beginning of time. I'm taking him for the Art Ross once the NHL returns at plus 140. I just think he is a tier above everybody else. But I don't know if I'm open to some suggestions because
Is there a point prop for who would lead the tournament in scoring and what the points for the leading scorer would be?
What, like an over/under for the amount of points?
So like I did this
the cut. Yeah.
I did this research on my show this morning, and of previous
someone's
Olympics,
going to break that number of what is it, 12 and a half?
11. It's 11. Timo Solani.
Yeah.
11 points in 6 games.
So you get your 3 rounds. So it could come down to that team that has to play the 5 versus 12 spot where you get to play where you're Germany or you're Slovakia or you're Czechia or you're Sweden or Finland, who knows? And you get to play France or Italy in 5 versus 12 and stack some points there as well.
Right.
And then go into it.
Because McDavid gets 3 points in one game. He's got a game against Switzerland. Don't know how that's going to go. And then he's got France coming up, right? and then he's probably going to have three more games in the elimination rounds if they go quarter, semifinals.
He will be nowhere near even money for 2 points a game. So like his implied points per game is probably like 2.3.
Okay.
I'm looking at that France game. Can he just win the entire thing in that France game? See, like the way the U.S. game went yesterday, like, yeah, there were a couple disallowed goals, but there was a potential for some 4 and 5 point games in there. It didn't end up, they divvied it up pretty. I think Jack Hughes had 3, Eichel had 2. So it's just like in one of those games, the ultra beating has to be coming for somebody.
Hasn't come yet. The dam will be broken soon. Italy, France, and between one of those two.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm getting a real Italian job done to me because I have been on the unders this whole time. Like, just because these international games, they typically are that way. But I'm just like, Italy sneaks out that second goal today, and it's a real Italian job. My own people are screwing me, which I knew they would.
So I just got an update that Czechia is not dressing Dostal, so it's going to be probably Vejmelka and Vladar as the 2, probably Vejmelka starting, and they're making 2 changes. Tidacek and Shalapik replace Jan Ruda and Tomashik.
Okay.
So they're making 2 changes.
Tomashik not only gets waived from the Oilers, he can't even he waits his whole career, can't even get a spot on line 3
versus France.
Oh my God. I think the Czechs look fine. I thought they looked fine yesterday.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you look at that first period, they almost could have had a lead. I think it's what you saw out of Finland. I didn't watch the game, obviously, but in terms of what I saw, I don't know how the game flow was, but I think you're going to see a very good response. And I think your average person sees, oh my God, they got shut out, and I think they're going to kill France today. I think they're going to let out some frustrations from yesterday.
That could be your game. That could be your dam breaking. Finally, 8-0. Someone scoring more than 5 goals, because I don't think no one scored more than 5 goals yet in this tournament, which is very surprising.
No.
What?
Yeah. The Sweden's the only over. That was an empty net, 5-2 Victor Hedman empty netter.
Right.
When that game was 2-2 midway through the third with Italy, and they flashed that graphic on the screen.
I was watching grade 4,
NHL
grade 5
games.
volleyball.
All I could think of was Sweden, Belarus at the last. What Olympics was that? Was that the? Where was that?
That was the
Vancouver.
That was the 2002 Olympics where Tommy Salo took the slap shot off the head and it went in behind him. Yeah, Carlo, I remember. These were the same years you were on the scumbag Leafs. Like those years when you're in 11th and 12th grade. Oh, I don't know how things are up there, but that's like your pinnacle of it. You're just a guy with not a ton. Like you can watch all this stuff, and that's when I was just in every last piece of hockey. After school, I'd be watching those Olympic games, and the Russian team was nasty. And I remember that somebody told me, like, oh, I should take Sweden for over 2.5, or Sweden or Finland for over 2.5 wins. I'm like, no, I'm like, they could easily lose. And then I cited that exact game, the Tommy Salo slap shot to Belarus.
Slap shot in the head, Nick. Well done,
bro. I'm so old, man. Decades are going by. I'm like, yeah, you remember that?
Great.
The Tommy Salo slap shot to the head? It was in 02? Mario Lemieux was on the ice for Canada.
The man with the memory. The man with the memory, and the man who just my favorite thing about you is like you love hockey, but you love scams more than hockey, and that works well in the betting space, 100%.
Yeah.
Andy, my great friend, I appreciate it. Wearing your shirt today, the man who brought us Sniffing is Believing. No introduction is needed. Everybody knows.
That's right, Carlo. Creating more believers than Joel Osteen around here.
I love it.
All right. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
Later, pal.
See you, buddy.
My guy. Now, I mean, the show doesn't stop. And this is a guy we are both very familiar. You see him all over TSN. You see him everywhere. You see him on covers. He does our Leaf stuff. He does our Jays stuff. He's a cardboard aficionado. The man with many names, Mickey Canuck, Al's brother, Mike DiStefano. There he is. Oh,
Whoa! Look who it is.
What's going on, boys? How we doing?
up,
How we
baby?
feeling this morning?
are you getting married
TGIF.
too? Congratulations. Yes, I have yet to say
Thank
that.
you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I am.
You
Man,
set
what a
date yet?
Me
that's a
and Carl.
process.
That's getting married has changed mine and Carlo's life for the better, and I'm so happy you're going that way too.
Yeah, it's a process, man. Let me tell you. It's apparently the second you get married, you can't, or you get engaged, you can't enjoy it. You got to right away start booking everything, getting dates, getting limos, it's insane. But we're hammering away at all the details. We did actually October 10th is the date, so Thanksgiving weekend.
Wow. Look at you,
September.
10-10. Taiwan's
10-10.
birthday, bud. Congratulations.
That's right.
Where
Yeah.
were you? Where'd you watch the game yesterday?
Watch it from the comforts of my own home. I didn't get up and enjoy one of those, 10 a.m. beers with friends like some did. I woke up probably literally 5 minutes before puck drop and quickly flipped on the TV and got to watch the game. But man, I was so jacked up, so excited for Olympic hockey to be back. And it's just the speed of the game, man. It's insane. Just when these guys get going at the pace that game was, like, it was unbelievable. It was so fun to watch.
So what was your biggest takeaway? We've already talked about it. I mean, outside of maybe the Celebrini McDavid combo, which is the first one that stood out, maybe the Binnington selection. Crosby, I don't know. Crosby wasn't as dominant, as fast. He didn't stand out as much as 97.
Yeah.
He didn't stand out with the puck as much as maybe McKinnon. But that bottom triangle with the power play between those three,
stupid.
like they're recreating what a power play is.
Yeah.
What was
Here's
your
the
biggest
thing.
takeaway from that game? Oh,
Here's the
sorry,
thing.
Carlos got his finger up. Yes, sir.
So when you watch McDavid run a power play in Edmonton, right? He's usually the guy with the puck on both flanks. Like, if nothing works on the one side, he flips to the other side. He's constantly in motion. Okay, so the puck's always going through him. Canada has 3 of those guys.
Yeah.
Okay, with Crosby, McDavid, and McKinnon. Now you're putting McDavid on the goal line, where he is as creative as anybody who's played hockey with the puck. And it's just, it's.
Well, how do you defend it? Like, how do you defend
That's
it?
what I mean. Like, he gets the puck at the goal line. He's got 3 options: back doors, through the seam, up to the point, back up. This is the last guy you want with the puck on his stick that close to the net if you're a penalty killer.
Well, like that goal, he was almost like a no-looker from McDavid. Like, you just didn't know what he was going to do with the puck, and like last minute just kind of turns his hands inside and slides it back door to McKinnon. It was a thing of beauty. It was all quick. It was bang, bang. Well, they scored 12, 13 seconds into the power play. You know what surprised me about, that game? It's just like how it shouldn't be that surprising, but it's just so crisp. It's so crisp, like the way that they're just getting the puck up and out so quickly, tape to tape. Everything's with authority. Like, it's unbelievable. I don't know if it's because I'm used to watching sloppy Maple Leafs hockey this year, where it takes them forever to get into a game. But it's like right from get-go, like the tone was set. Right from McDavid's hit on the opening shift, the tone was set and everyone was ready to go. And I thought that the team played really well. First period took a little bit, I guess, to just get going. But by the second and certainly by the third, Canada took over that hockey game. And, I expect for them to, absolutely dominate the Swiss tonight. I think that'll be, a similar lopsided score when they play them later on today. So
the Swiss are going to play hard, man.
yeah, of course.
They didn't look very hard in their 4-0 win. That was a lot closer than a 4-0 game. They scored 2 early ones. They were ugly, and then it just it got sloppy.
Surprised that they're going with Vemelka over Doshel. Yeah.
Oh, Dochel's just. I think they were
yesterday, right? They're not playing back to back.
Oh, that's true.
You played Vemelka ahead of Vladar. I mean, but they're both still.
Yeah.
All right, AB, I got to ask you, because you've been on fire with your NFL picks. So let's see if you can give us a couple winners here. 3 Canadians right now sit up top of the MVP odds.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you take? McKinnon, McDavid, or Jordan Binnington?
It's tough to just not look at Connor McDavid, see what he did in that game yesterday, and just not automatically go with McDavid. Like, I know he's clearly the
Could a
favorite with the worst
sleeper
odds.
play here be Celebrini,
Yes. No, it is. Celebrini is a good sleeper play. And
right?
talking about one of the things, like what was I, surprised by? The fact that he was so ready for the moment. Like, for him to open up the scoring was incredible. And, if we're talking about McDavid putting up points throughout the tournament, I mean, the guy to his left is Macklin Celebrini. Like, he'll have an opportunity to tag along and put up just as many points as Connor McDavid. But, McDavid's on the top power play. Like, he's going to get a little bit more minutes and more opportunity to put up production. And, I think like he's the guy who's going to blow past his total. I think it was 8.5 was his points total at the start of the tournament. He had 3 points his first game, could have had 4 or 5 points realistically if the, Canadians could have capitalized on a couple of chances that he set up. I think this guy's going to blow past that total. And I think he's going to kind of cement his legacy in this tournament as a big time international player. Like, if you recall Four Nations, it's not that he was disappointing, but he wasn't, he wasn't the best player in the tournament for the extended tournament for the whole thing. But he came in clutch at the end, obviously, and scored the golden goal.
They struggled to find him a line mate to play with and keep up, right? Like, Marner looks fantastic with Stone. Like, we can crap on Marner a lot, but that line looked very good. But Marner looked a lot different with 97.
That play he made, was unbelievable.
That Czech player's lucky he didn't get his face gashed open with Marner jumping over his head.
He looked like Bobby Orr. He looked like Bobby Orr on that play. But for me, like MVP, I know it's chalk and it's not.
It's plus 470 now. It was plus 625 to open the tournament.
That's still good odds you're getting.
I know. And Celebrini is
plus 3,000,
30 to 1.
Yeah, it's I mean, if I don't know if you watched the American game last night, but that Jack Hughes kid looked pretty darn good. He found his stride. He may have had his best game of the season yesterday.
Is Tate McRae there with him?
What's that? Tate McRae? Probably. Imagine you see Tate McRae sitting in the crowd in an American jersey.
Oh, wow. It's Dan Vladar that's starting.
Oh, Vladar.
It's not.
Okay. But there's still, I don't think there's a big difference between Vladar and Vegemelka, no.
Slightly.
When Vladar's on, he's the only reason Philadelphia can win.
Yeah, which isn't saying a whole lot, but that means that Canada should be able to put up offense today. I think they should be able to score, which again points to you're looking at an MVP bet. A guy like McDavid, a guy like McKinnon, Celebrini, as you mentioned, could be an opportunity for those guys to put some points up.
What if Jordan Binnington has 3 shutouts?
Well, it's possible that he could have 3 shots, but he's not going to play every
224 minutes is the running time, best on best, no goal for Canada, right?
Wow. He's just not going to play every game, right? Like, they're going to mix in Logan Thompson. Like, he's going to play today, and then, I mean, you think he plays every single match from here on out?
5-0 with 3 shutouts?
He's going to play next game against France, for sure.
Yeah. Then he's going to play every
single. This is what I could see happening. They go into the France game, they start Binnington.
Yeah.
And if the game's out of hand, maybe they throw the third period to Kemper if he's the background and say, "Hey, at least you got 20 minutes of action in the Olympics." Mm-hmm. But then you're riding Binnington the whole way through because it's elimination games.
Oh, for sure. At that point, you would definitely do that.
Now,
I don't think so.
The USC team, their power play, they did run back to how they were looking. They did run Hughes at the point with Werenski playing the second unit, and Brady was also on the second unit, but they ran that unit quite big. And if you're looking at Canada power play stuff, they ran the basically 85 to 90% of the time yesterday.
Yeah. It just, for me, McDavid seems like the top pick there. Like, Benner has an opportunity, I suppose. Definitely has a chance to do it. I mean, his test yesterday.
Celebrini belongs.
It is, man. He does belong there. And I think odds-wise, if you're looking for value, I think 30 to 1 is probably one of the better value plays out there on Macklin Celebrini.
But you saw that first shot, like him getting engaged early in that game, that one-timer that was absolutely pissed on, that I think it went high and wide anyway, but like that was him being confident immediately. And you see those guys, young guys, like Suzuki's like, okay, I got to get this puck off my stick quick. I got to get it to 29. No, like 17, just keep an eye on 17. And the last thing, stick around for a second, as Carlo's question, the Swiss, we talked about that power play and how dangerous it is. Carlo, how does that change how the Swiss have to play aggressively because if they over aggressively, like you've seen guys getting pulled out of scrums and taken 2 just for some pretty cheap stuff. How does that affect the way you change and maybe Swiss can't play as aggressive as they want to?
Yeah, I mean, there has to be a sort of a line that you toe here, right? I mean, it's just you got to be aware that I can almost guarantee you the coach of the Swiss team is saying, guys, keep this game 5-on-5, right?
Yeah.
Do not give them, let's not create a parade to the box, because you keep it 5-on-5, you give yourself a chance to win. If you're putting that power play on the ice 2 or 3 times a game,
even 4-on-4, they're in trouble.
Yeah. So it's the Swiss are usually pretty disciplined in that, right? They're not like they don't play a goon style of game. And I guess a lot of it will determine on how the refs call the game. Like if they're letting a lot of stuff go, usually the players can sense that and gauge how far they can, go with the physical part of the game, or even in just the scrums. But you don't want to be the guy coming out solo out of the scrums if you're the Swiss.
15 seconds after your penalty.
Right, exactly. So,
all right, what are you looking for this weekend then? Where are you watching the game? What are you doing? And kind of a 3-0 run here for Canada, and then I think they'll get back on what? Then the Wednesday?
Is that when they get back?
If they clean up. The 1-4s, I think, get the Monday off. Tuesday is the qualification quarterfinals, 5 versus 12, 6 versus 11, and so on. And then the quarterfinal elimination goes Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday, and then Friday, and then one semifinal game on Saturday, and then finals on
Sunday.
Like yeah.
The final, it's Sunday morning. The morning games are a struggle. Like I miss being in our time zone. I do miss that for the Olympic games.
Struggle. They're the best for me. I do 4 hours of radio. And
for you, for you, I guess you're fine.
Your co-host says, pay attention, Carlo. Stop watching the Italians on TV.
It was perfect, I guess, yesterday.
During the radio show, the best.
Yeah, it works. It works for people who are morning people. Not one of them. Not one of them. But I'll probably same thing. Well, today's a little bit different. I guess you got a 3:00 game, which is nice. So you can kind of go and watch that one. You could probably go to a bar or something and watch that game. But the what time's the game on Sunday? Is that a morning game as well?
No, they have no morning games. It'll be a 10:40 game.
That's a morning game. That's a morning.
No, the 6:10 is the morning game.
That's still a morning game for me.
You're talking to a guy who gets up at 12 o'clock on an everyday
exactly.
Basis. Yeah, he's going back to bed. AB, we appreciate you, brother. One of my favorites, absolutely. And keep filling in for Carlo and AK every time they decide to leave the country and go golfing. So you fill in well for the boys. I appreciate you, mate. Have a great weekend, and thanks for your insight, pal.
Absolutely, boys. Enjoy the games. Go Canada, go.
Ciao.
Later, buddy. All right, Friday wrapped. I appreciate it, Carlo. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back Sunday. Bringing on some more guests this weekend to talk over the weekend, but back again 10 a.m. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. All tournament long. Have a great weekend. Can't wait to be at home with the entire family for 4 days, but kids are off Friday. Kids are off Monday. Happy Family Day to everybody in Canada. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Carlo, lead us out, pal.
Happy Valentine's Day, buddy. Love you.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Yeah, man. Yo, Toronto. Skimming, yo, Toronto. Yo, Toronto.